The moment Carrie Underwood filed $800 million lawsuit, the media world stood still. But now, The View is no longer mocking, it's begging. Yes, the very hosts who once hurled criticism without restraint are now desperately trying to walk it all back. What began as a fiery performance at Trump's inauguration
beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountain majesties above the fruited plain. God shed his grace on thee and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea.
Trump's inauguration has turned into one of the biggest legal nightmares in daytime TV history. Carrie sang, "America the Beautiful," but what followed was anything but beautiful. The internet exploded. Social media lit up with rage, applause, and endless debate. But when the hosts of The View chimed in, they didn't just critique Carrie, they tore her apart on live television. They accused her of normalizing a convicted felon, attacked her patriotism, and questioned her very values. The tone wasn't concerned. It was downright vicious. And Carrie? She didn't clap back on Twitter or give a tearful interview. She went straight to court with legal firepower. An $800 million defamation lawsuit that's sending shockwaves through ABC. Now The View isn't just sweating. They're pleading behind the scenes. Reports say the hosts are begging Carrie to end the legal onslaught before it destroys them completely. Insiders say Joy Behar has never been this rattled, and that's saying something for a woman known for her sharp tongue and unapologetic jabs. Sunny Hostin, who once doubled down on her critique, is reportedly in panic mode, realizing this lawsuit might not just bruise reputations, it could bankrupt them.
Carrie Underwood will take the stage at Trump's inauguration singing America the Beautiful. She said to the Post, "I love our country and I'm honored to have been asked to sing at the inauguration and to be a small part of this historic event. I am humbled to answer the call at a time when we must all come together in the spirit of unity and looking to the future." Well, that wasn't good enough for the tolerant left, of course, who is outraged over Carrie being outed as MAGA. X is blowing up with jokes about how she should sing her hit song Before He Cheats. Some are calling for her to be boycotted and canceled. John Rich weighed in, saying there are several top-tier country artists who support Trump, and I wish they'd finally have the balls to come forward and be counted. Ain't nothing outlaw about keeping your mouth shut to appease the record label. Carrie Underwood is making you look like a bunch of sissy boys. Carrie is talented, she is graceful, she is a class act, she has great legs, not that it matters, but she is everything that the tolerant left is not.
The very same people who went on national television to question Carrie's love for America are now scrambling to release statements, draft apologies, and calm the storm. But here's the kicker. Carrie hasn't backed down an inch. Sources close to her say she's more determined than ever to make this a moment of accountability in media. And the fans, they are roaring with support. Hashtags like #Justice for Carrie and #Cancel the View are everywhere. People are not letting this go quietly. Even longtime viewers of The View are turning. "They crossed a line," one fan posted. "Critique is fine. Personal attacks, that's where they lost me." Behind the scenes, ABC executives are said to be in meltdown. The network fears this lawsuit could turn into a PR catastrophe that threatens everything. Rumors are swirling that ABC's legal team is urging the hosts to issue full public apologies, to beg on air if they must, just to contain the damage. Producers are reportedly considering pulling clips of the original segment, afraid the footage could be used as evidence in court. The fear is real. Even Whoopi Goldberg, who usually stands firm with her co-hosts, is keeping noticeably quiet. She doesn't want to get dragged into this, says one insider. Meanwhile, Carrie's legal team is laying out every word, every moment, and every accusation made by the hosts, building a case that looks more serious by the day.
So I think people feel pretty strongly about it. I think art is art, and you have a right to perform where you want to perform. I agree with you, Joy. I can't sing a lick, but I certainly, and I have not been asked, but if I were asked, it would be a hard no.
The lawsuit argues that The View's commentary went far beyond opinion. It became a public smear campaign aimed at destroying Carrie's reputation. Carrie's camp claims the damage is already done. Lost endorsements, cancelled appearances, and a media storm that painted her as something she never claimed to be. The court documents reportedly state that The View's commentary was reckless, malicious, and intentionally harmful. And the dollar amount reflects just how serious they are. As the pressure builds, sources say Joy and Sunny have been meeting privately with network attorneys, trying to figure out a way to fix this without facing public humiliation, or worse, financial ruin. They're reportedly brainstorming every possible move: televised apologies, off-air phone calls, even direct pleas to Carrie herself. Yes, it's that desperate. According to someone close to production, they've gone from bold to begging overnight. One producer allegedly said, "It's like watching a slow-motion car crash and no one knows where the brakes are." Carrie, on the other hand, remains a picture of grace under fire. While the hosts are scrambling, she's staying calm, focused, and absolutely silent, letting the lawsuit do all the talking. Insiders close to Carrie say she views this case not as revenge, but as a wake-up call to a media machine that's gone unchecked for too long. And fans are loving it. Memes are pouring in. One shows Carrie calmly sipping tea, while Joy panics behind a desk with the caption, "Who's laughing now?" The internet is relentless, and so is Carrie. Fans have turned her into a symbol of strength. Someone who dared to take on the talk show elite and didn't blink. Some even call her the country queen of accountability. The stakes aren't just high, they're towering. If Carrie wins this case, it could change the rules for daytime talk forever. Hosts everywhere would be forced to think twice before going on the attack.
No, I wouldn't do it, even though I can't sing.
You would not sing?
No, I would not. I would not normalize him. And she says, "I love our country." How do you love your country and support and normalize somebody who was a convicted felon who really wants to destroy the country, in my opinion? I don't understand how you say you love your country at the same time as you normalize this convicted felon, which I can say.
And what about ABC? The network giant is said to be terrified that this could trigger even more lawsuits. If Carrie wins, what's stopping other public figures from suing over past attacks? The line between opinion and defamation is being drawn in real time, and it's not looking good for Joy and Sunny. Their fiery words may have crossed into dangerous legal territory. Whoopi, who's normally outspoken, is said to be trying to distance herself quietly. Some insiders believe she warned the others not to go too far, but they didn't listen. Fans are asking, where was the line? When did commentary become cruelty? And who gets to decide when someone's too patriotic or too political to perform at an event? Carrie's team argues that she was targeted not for what she
I don't
did,
understand how you say you love
for
your
who
country
she
at the same time as you
associated with.
normalize this
And that's what
convicted
makes this
felon,
case
which I
so
can say now every
extreme.
day.
It's not just legal, it's deeply personal. Sunny's remarks are getting the most heat online. "How can you say you love your country and support him?" she said. But now, Critics are flipping that on her. How can you say you support women, then tear one down for singing? The hypocrisy is everywhere. Viewers are digging up old segments where Joy and Sunny claimed to support free speech and unity, but their takedown of Carrie told a very different story. Some fans are calling for Joy and Sunny to resign entirely. They went too far and now they need to go, read one viral post with over 100,000 likes. The momentum is growing. Even celebrities are weighing in. Country stars, conservative voices, and even free speech advocates are lining up behind Carrie, publicly praising her courage and calling out the View's media bullying. At this point, it's not just a lawsuit, it's a reckoning. Carrie's decision to fight back is turning into a cultural moment, one that could leave lasting damage on the View's legacy.
Country superstar Carrie Underwood has spent most of her career avoiding political talk, but she's set to perform at the upcoming inauguration. She said in a statement that she's doing it because the country must come together in the spirit of unity and look to the future. And lots of her fans aren't thrilled about it, but lots of her fans are. So let's put this in perspective here. What do y'all think?
I personally hope we're moving beyond the era of politics where we want to cancel people's livelihoods because we don't like their politics. And whether it was the Dixie Chicks for criticizing George Bush, didn't agree with it then, and Carrie Underwood, if you have a problem, you register your complaint by not downloading her songs and not going to her shows.
Right.
But I also think from a business standpoint, it's not a bad decision for Carrie Underwood. 75 million people voted for Trump. Artists tend to skew left-leaning, so she's overnight going to become an icon of MAGA and the American right. She's probably going to make a lot of money off of it. So I get why she did it.
I see.
And as for the apology, insiders say one is coming, but it may be too little, too late, because Carrie isn't just asking for sorry. She's demanding accountability in the most public way possible. Behind closed doors, producers are reportedly urging Joy and Sunny to read prepared statements, word for word, on air. But both hosts are said to be hesitant, fearing it'll look forced and fake. Tensions are boiling within the show's inner circle. Staffers are divided. Some believe the hosts must own their words, while others think it's time to start fresh with new faces. A leaked message from one crew member allegedly said, "We're walking on eggshells. This lawsuit is draining everyone, and the vibe here is toxic." That says it all. ABC executives are now holding daily strategy calls just to contain the damage. The show that once ruled daytime is now consumed by legal panic and public distrust. Every move Joy and Sunny make is being dissected online. Facial expressions, tone of voice, body language, nothing is escaping the internet's watchful eye. Some claim Joy has looked visibly shaken during recent tapings, even fumbling lines and dodging eye contact during segments that once came naturally. Sunny, meanwhile, is said to be keeping her distance. Sources say she's showing up late, leaving early, and avoiding all off-camera interaction with Carrie's camp or ABC Legal. The idea that The View might lose two of its most recognizable faces is no longer far-fetched. It's being openly discussed inside the building. In fact, whispers are swirling that network brass is already drafting replacement options just in case this lawsuit explodes further. It's not just about PR anymore, it's about survival. And then there's Carrie, still silent, still composed, and still winning hearts with every headline. Fans say her quiet strength speaks louder than any panel segment ever could. Her legal team, though quiet publicly, is reportedly gathering every public statement, every tabloid headline, and every tweet linked to this smear campaign. They're building a case so solid, so packed with evidence, that media insiders are starting to panic. This isn't just a shot across the bow, it's a direct hit.
So I have no...
Right, yeah. We're not asking any of us.
No, you do what you do. Listen, it's like, people do what they do for whatever reasons. It's like Joe and Mika.
This isn't just a media dispute anymore, it's a cultural war. And Carrie has become the unexpected warrior at the center of it all. In a recent radio interview, one close friend of Carrie said, "She didn't want this fight, but she's not walking away from it either. She knows she's got millions standing with her." And that's what makes this so powerful. Carrie Underwood, the country star with a golden voice, has become a symbol of grace, strength, and standing up to media bullies. At this point, all eyes are on The View. Will they grovel publicly? Will Joy and Sunny resign? Or will they try to shift the blame and spin a new narrative? Insiders suggest ABC may force an on-air apology before the season ends. It's their last hope to salvage the brand before more sponsors start walking away. But Carrie's side has made it clear: no apology will be accepted unless it's sincere, public, and paired with accountability. No backdoor settlements, no half-hearted regrets. The next few weeks could make or break daytime television. If Carrie wins, it could redefine how public figures are protected from media smear campaigns. Legal analysts say this case could even open the door for future lawsuits by other celebrities who feel they've been attacked unfairly on talk shows. The ripple effect could shake the industry, and that's why The View is panicking. This isn't about one singer and one episode. It's about the entire structure of talk show culture collapsing under its own arrogance. Carrie has flipped the script. No longer the passive target of political jabs, she's now the storm bearing down on the studio lights, cameras, and egos that thought they were untouchable. Whether she settles or takes it all the way, one thing is undeniable. Carrie Underwood has changed the game, and she did it with dignity, silence, and the power of the truth. And as the world watches this legal drama unfold, the message is clear. Never underestimate the quiet ones, because sometimes they're the ones who strike the loudest. So what's next for The View? Will the show survive the storm, or is this the final act for a daytime giant that flew too close to the sun? Only time will tell. But for now, one thing's certain. Carrie Underwood didn't just sing at an inauguration. She just might have sung the final note of The View's untouchable legacy.